रिसेशन, ले ऑफ, हायरिंग फ्रीज, हर कंपनी में अभी यही हालत है। जिस कंपनी में एचआर को मेल करो या मैसेज करो कि मैम कुछ खाली वाली है क्या पोजीशन आपके यहाँ पे। नो सर, अभी तो कुछ खाली नहीं है, अभी हायरिंग फ्रीज चल रही है हमारे यहाँ पे। खाली भी है तो जिनके पास 4 5 6 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है उनके लिए खाली है। अब जो बेचारा फ्रेशर है वो कहाँ जाए यार, किधर से उसको जॉब मिलेगी अभी। एक सेकंड, एक कॉल आ रहा है मेरे पास। ओके। हाँ भाई। हम्म। तूने गूगल छोड़ दी क्यों? और स्टार्टअप ज्वाइन कर लिया? पागल वागल हो गया क्या? एकदम से क्या हुआ? हम्म। महान आत्मा। चल ठीक है, तुझसे बात बात करता हूँ, मैं कुछ काम कर रहा हूँ अभी। करता हूँ मैं। मैं अभी जस्ट मेरे एक दोस्त का फोन आया और वो बता रहे भैया यार मैंने तो जॉब छोड़ दी है गूगल से और अब मैं एक स्टार्टअप ज्वाइन कर रहा हूँ, और स्टार्टअप अभी लॉन्च भी नहीं हुआ है, ज्वाइन कर रहा हूँ। अभी अपन बात करें कि भैया यहाँ जॉब नहीं मिल रही है लोगों को, और ये बंदा गूगल, नहीं ड्रीम कंपनी, मेरी भी ड्रीम कंपनी, सबकी ड्रीम कंपनी होती है, छोड़ के वो स्टार्टअप में काम करने जा रहा है वो। अबे एक काम करते ना, इसको लाते अपन पॉडकास्ट पे। इसके देख, इससे पूछते, कुछ सवाल पूछेंगे इससे और देखते हैं कि क्या जवाब देता है ये, किस तरह की, क्यों उसने छोड़ा। ये पूछते पहले भैया छोड़ा क्यों, गूगल में तुम थे अच्छा खासा तो पैसा क्यों छोड़ दिया तुमने, स्टार्टअप वो भी है जो लॉन्च तक नहीं हुआ अभी तक। तो एक काम करते, इससे बात करता हूँ मैं, और इनको क्या बोलते, बुलाते हैं अपन। एक सीनियर है मेरे ये, बट हाँ बुलाते हैं इनको, इनसे बात करेंगे अपन कि क्या, क्यों करा भैया ये भी इस रिसेशन में। तो करते हैं बात, ठीक है। और मिलते पॉडकास्ट में, पॉडकास्ट देखना जरूर और सब्सक्राइब जरूर करना, ठीक है, ताकि मैं और भी लोगों को ऐसे बुलाऊं। ठीक है।
So, hi Ashveen, how are you?
Hi, Puneet. I'm good. How are you?
I am good too. Welcome to the podcast and hope कि कुछ अच्छा ही सीखने को मिले इससे मुझे भी एंड जो हमारे व्यूवर्स हैं उनको भी। तो लेट्स होप फॉर द बेस्ट। सब स्टार्ट करने से पहले लेट्स टॉक अबाउट योरसेल्फ, लाइक आप क्या करते हो एंड अ ब्रीफ अबाउट योरसेल्फ।
Okay, so I'm Ashveen. I graduated in 2020 from IIT Guwahati Computer Science, and after that I joined Google. I worked there for a little more than 3 years, and I was part of various different teams. Google allows something called as 20% project, where you can use 20% of your time working on some self project or working on with some other team. I also took that opportunity. After that, I felt that Google, being a very big company, perfect has some strict guidelines and processes, and there
Mm-hmm.
was limited knowledge that I was gaining there. So I wanted to explore working outside Google. So I joined a registered
Right.
startup. It's called Cone. We haven't launched yet. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, doing currently.
ओके। सो बिफोर स्टार्टिंग द पॉडकास्ट, एक जो पॉडकास्ट होने वाला है ना, इसमें हम लोग ये नहीं बात करेंगे कि गूगल के लिए प्रिपेयर कैसे कर रहे हैं एंड ऑल, बिकॉज ये सबको मालूम है, लाइक क्वेश्चंस करो एंड ठीक है वही तरीका है। बट जो बात करने वाले हैं वो ऐसा है कि यार अपार्ट फ्रॉम गूगल जो ऐसे क्वेश्चंस होते हैं जो हर किसी माइंड में होते हैं, अपार्ट फ्रॉम प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर गूगल, तो उसके बारे में बात करेंगे, हमारा मेन फोकस उस पर रहेगा। ठीक है। सो जो पहला क्वेश्चन मेरा ये है कि आजकल एक टॉपिक बहुत चल रहा है, लिंक्डइन पर भी काफी पोस्ट आती है कि यार जब डीएसए प्रिपेयर करा मैंने, डीएसए क्लियर, लाइक उसके बाद फिर मैंने इंटरव्यू भी निकाल लिया, मैं कंपनी में गया, बट वहां पर यार काम तो आया ही नहीं डीएसए। वहां पे मैंने बाइनरी सर्च यूज नहीं करा। ये बहुत से क्वेश्चन आते हैं यार कि कंपनियां क्यों पूछती हैं डीएसए से, जब इम्प्लीमेंट करना ही नहीं जाके कंपनीज में, तो क्यों पूछ रही हैं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल किसको फ्रंट एंड में जाना है बट स्टिल ही हैव टू गिव द डीएसए, लाइक डीएसए राउंड। तो ये क्वेश्चन काफी आता है, तो आपका व्यू क्या है इसमें कि डीएसए राउंड क्यों नेसेसरी है फॉर एनी कंपनी विद हायरिंग। आपका क्यों, क्या व्यू है इसके ऊपर?
I feel DSA has importance if of hiring freshers, but not if you are hiring experienced folks. Because when you are hiring freshers, you it would be wrong to expect them to have a proper knowledge of how systems are built, because they have just worked on college projects or even in internships. They don't get to have a complete idea on how real
राइट।
life applications are built. So at that level, you cannot ask them about system design and even the library sector knowledge. It's not fair to ask them, because you are when you're hiring a fresher, you are hiring a generalist. So for a generalist,
Right.
you cannot some very specific library related questions also. Like most companies that
Mm-hmm.
even are hiring a fresher, they don't even know which team they're going to be part of. So they need to
Right.
hire a generalist, and for generalists, what they mostly look for are some basic computer science fundamentals and some
Mm-hmm.
solving skills and the ability to code and optimize the code. So in this scenario, that problem solving plus ability to write code and ability to optimize code,
Hmm.
DSA comes up. So if you're hiring
Okay.
if you're or even if you are giving internship interviews, DSA makes sense. But as you gain experience, the focus
Mm-hmm.
will be more on design.
Okay. Okay. Great. My next question is, जो ऑफ कैंपस एंड ऑन कैंपस इंटरव्यूज होते हैं, तो यू थिंक कि ऑफ ऑन कैंपस इंटरव्यूज आर लिटिल बिट इजियर देन ऑफ कैंपस थिंक?
I feel that in off campus and on campus, the interview levels are same. It's just that if the interview is happening in on campus, there is a much higher chance of you being asked an old question because if it is coming
अच्छा.
on, they need to take like 15 20 interviews. So it's very hard
राइट.
to come up with new interview questions. So most
राइट.
happens
राइट.
is interview has one or two questions decided, and they just keep on asking that question to each candidate. So
ओके.
in this
ओके.
campus, even in tier one colleges, is a very uh, frequent thing. So like companies take shortlisting tests, right? So these tests don't happen at the same time across all the campus. So colleges actually share the questions that you ask them in one company's test so that the other campuses can benefit from it. So there
ओके.
uh,
ओके.
shared created every year in which every campus keeps on posting the questions that they have been asked and other people can utilize it.
जो एक क्वेश्चन ना काफी मेरे माइंड में भी था व्हेन आई वाज प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर सम बिग कंपनीज, कि लाइक जो कंपनीज आती हैं ऑन कैंपस या ऑफ कैंपस हो गया, जो क्वेश्चंस रहते हैं उनके पास, तो like, जो मुझे अमेजन का पता है कि वो ऐसे क्वेश्चन बैंक नहीं है हमारा कि जहाँ से हम क्वेश्चंस उठाते हैं एंड देन वी आस्क द क्वेश्चन, बट आई डोंट नो अबाउट द गूगल, लाइक prepare questions, like you have any questions bank where you pull out the questions and ask the interview, like the candidate, so how this thing goes in the Google?
Yeah, so Google also has a question bank, but it's not there is not a mandatory rule that you have to follow that question bank itself. The interviewer is free to select any other question, but usually many interviewers actually choose to follow the question bank only.
Acha. Let's talk about the current market situation right now. So recession is going on, everybody knows. Hiring is freezing in hiring is freezing in every company. So how can someone prepare for this such type of times? Like let's say if someone is just a fresher, अभी 2023 या 2024 pass out हुआ है, so how can he prepare to crack some companies, like अगर
Yeah, so this is two parts. So first step is getting shortlisted for an interview, and the second part is then clearing an interview. So when we
right.
come to first part, shortlisting for an interview, so you need to think what stands out your resume. So if
Mm-hmm.
many people complain that when companies come on campus for on campus, they mostly shortlist on basis of CGPA because the thing is that
Right.
when they come on campus, the resume of all the students in batch are mostly the same. So there is only one differentiating factor for them, the CGPA. So
CGPA.
uh,
Right.
you so you have to think that what is making your resume stand out. That I
Mm-hmm.
generally recommend that you take part in different hackathons. It also
Right.
will give you some projects to put in your resume, and
Right.
if you're able to get some prize, it will really increase the value of your resume. So you have
Right.
to think
And you
that
can also control in open source.
yes, open source is much harder.
Right.
So that's why I
Right. Right.
generally advise to participate in
Mm-hmm.
hackathon. So you have to
Okay.
think in this that what are your strong points and how can you utilize that to actually make your resume stand out. So that's how
Great.
you would get your
Right.
resume sorted. And the second part is so in a bad economy, the level of question remains the same. It's just that the competition increases. So as a result
Hmm.
of that, you have to give a much more better interview. So what you need to do is you need to give a lot of mock interviews so that you
Right.
are able in an interview environment. There's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of difference in solving a question sitting in your home and solving
Right.
in
Yes. Yes.
real interview. So you should do
Interview.
give a lot of mock interviews so that you are comfortable in that
Hmm.
environment. And also when you are practicing on your own, you should time yourself so that you do not run out of the clock. And
Right.
try
Right.
to
Yeah.
write a perfect code in one go, that the code should compile in one go. So these
Mm-hmm.
small things make your interview stand out. It would uh, remove the small negative feedback or the little hints that the interviewer
Hmm.
has to you, and in this way you can perform better in the interview.
Right. So you have worked with Indian software engineers along with foreign software engineers. So what difference did you see? like क्या difference है दोनों में? How they approach a thing, how they write a code? तो क्या difference लगा आपको?
I don't see any difference in the engineering itself. I just see that are differences in culture of different
Mm-hmm.
countries, that in US people tend not to respond like after 5 p.m. They don't work after hours, so they have a very good
अच्छा.
differentiating line
Like
of
work life.
life.
Uh-huh.
So they do follow that very rigorously. I don't see that in India, but in engineers I don't see any difference.
हाँ. अब जो एक क्वेश्चन ना हर किसी माइंड में रहता है जो भी कॉलेज ज्वाइन करता है, क्या मुझे गूगल में काम करना है? उसका फर्स्ट ड्रीम कंपनी क्या होती है? गूगल होती है. आपके आई एम श्योर रही होगी, सबकी रहती है वो. सो क्यों? लाइक ऐसा क्या जब आपने गूगल ज्वाइन करी, आप यू हैव वर्क देयर फॉर अराउंड 3 इयर्स, राइट? सो क्या ऐसा लगा कि हाँ यार ये चीज लाइक सबको क्यों, सबके सोचते क्या गूगल में काम करना है? कुछ तो रीजन रहा होगा ना. तो व्हाट वाज योर एक्सपीरियंस व्हाइल वर्किंग विद गूगल? एंड या.
Yeah. I feel the why many people have Google is their dream company is because of its perks and their culture, that they do take care of their employees very well, and they have like so many perks that many people don't even know that okay, such a perk exists.
अच्छा.
So
अच्छा.
yeah, like I was famous within my team that I knew all the different in
Yeah,
that
yeah,
dream
yeah.
world.
I saw your
Even
post. I saw your
yeah,
post regarding that. You know.
yeah, even a manager used to
Uh,
come to me and ask that, "Hey, is it possible to get this extra that thing reimbursed?" So this why
uh,
they Google takes care of its employees a lot, and that's why it has been famous and dream companies of many.
राइट. या. अब इसके नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इस पे ये है कि आपने गूगल पे काम करा, नाउ यू वर्किंग विद स्टार्टअप. तो डिफरेंस क्या लगा आपको वाले वर्किंग विद स्टार्टअप एंड गूगल? लाइक गूगल इज अ वेरी एस्टैब्लिश्ड कंपनी, अ वेरी बिग कंपनी, एंड यू आर वर्किंग विद अ वेरी स्मॉल कंपनी. सो क्या डिफरेंस लगा आपको दोनों में?
So in work culture, the major thing is that Google is very risk averse. It cannot afford to have a bad PR. So when they are releasing something, they have to ensure that it is going to work,
राइट.
matter how many
बिल्कुल.
users use it, and because of its scale, they have to build very scalable products. So in this
राइट.
way, that uh, building a perfect product, even while launching, this takes a lot of time, and hence things really so that you have to also ensure there are no legal implications that the product is going to launch in and different countries. So you will have to see that okay, they are following all the legalities of each country, and
ओके.
they be able to handle the traffic that they're going to get, that it is not going to affect anything negatively. So because of this, they work very slow. In a startup, they can afford to fail. So due to which things move really fast. So like right now, I complete projects in weeks here, which in Google would have taken me quarters. So this is the biggest difference, that the velocity of work in a startup is much high because there are
राइट. राइट.
the process involved.
राइट राइट ओके सो हाँ अब एक क्वेश्चन ऐसा है कि यू हैव बीन इन आईआईटी देन यू गेट इनटू द गूगल व्हाट वुड हैव हैपेंड इफ आपका आईआईटी में नहीं हुआ होता तो क्या आपको लगता है लाइक फिर भी यू हैव क्लियर्ड द गूगल
Yeah, I feel it would have been harder because I got placed through campus placement. So for off campus,
राइट
I have to follow the things that I pointed out earlier, that getting my resume shortlisted, I would have to do uh, a lot more things to make my resume stand out.
स्टैंड आउट
Uh,
या
I feel that
ओके
even uh, when I applied for Google, even through campus, I had done one really good internship, and that was like I feel was the best thing on my resume. And if I had applied through off campus, uh, it would still have been there.
ओके 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 ग्रेट 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 लेट्स से जहाँ पे भी आप काम कर रहे हो कंपनी में इट्स अ स्टार्टअप राइट फॉर सम रीजन लाइक ऐसा ना हो आई आई विश बट फॉर सम रीजन कंपनी शट डाउन हो जाती है फॉर एग्जांपल ठीक है किसी भी फॉर एनी एक्स वाई जेड रीजन अब राइट नाउ रिसेशन इज गोइंग ऑन हायरिंग इज फ्रीज्ड लाइक राइट अब आपके पास जॉब भी नहीं है तो आप फिर क्या करोगे
So one backup is that Google has a policy that if you leave
ओके
Google, so within
हाँ
1 year you can join back without an interview if there is any open
ओ
position. Yeah, so this
ओके
is the
इसके
reason.
बारे में नहीं मालूम था
Yeah, my parents convinced to allow me to join a startup on hearing this policy actually.
हाँ
So till
अच्छा
October, I have that backup thing, and
हाँ
after
हाँ
that, if something happens, I will probably reach out to my network because in past three and
हाँ
a half years, I focused a lot on building a good network,
नेटवर्क
so
गुड
I can
नेटवर्क या
always reach out to those person to get
हम्म
a reference and apply there.
ओके ओके नाउ what's your opinion about the paid DSA courses? Like there are hell lot of DSA courses out there which are claiming do this and you will land a job in 45 days or in 90 days. So what's your views on that? Should a guy or a girl take this course or not? What's your opinion about that?
So, look, the content remains the same even whether you are taking a paid course or even if you are taking a free course and figuring it out yourself.
Absolutely.
The only thing
Absolutely.
that the paid courses can provide you is that they would make you more disciplined. That if they have some
Mm-hmm.
classes and if you have to give some of the frequent mock interviews or tests, etc., so they will push you to be more disciplined. So
Okay.
I you should take paid course for the content because the content will remain the same. The
Right.
implementation of it will remain the same no matter which resource
Remain
you
the
follow.
same.
It's
Hmm.
more about that whether you need that external stimulus to be more disciplined.
Hmm. Okay. Now, इससे मैंने आपकी LinkedIn profile देखी. You have been promoted to as SB3 in Google. So you have already worked so hard for that. बट कई बार कंफ्यूजन रहता है माइंड में कि यार मैं काम तो मैंने काफी कर रहा हूँ कंपनी में हैव बीन इन दिस कंपनी फॉर ऑलमोस्ट 2 years लेट्स से एंड आई हैव वर्क सो हार्ड बट आई एम नॉट गेटिंग द प्रमोशन राइट over there so what do you think a guy should do to get the promotion you know not easy but yeah have a great chance of getting the promotion what points you want to share to consider while applying for promotions
Okay, so I can only give a generic answer because it depends
right
on the
right right
process of the
company to
company.
company
But some things that I feel is that when you are presenting your work, this is true even when you are
हाँ
writing your work in your resume, you need
right right
to have some impact metrics. You
hmm.
need not write because I feel that what happens is that in college projects, your project never has any impact. So you just write that okay, I use this XYZ technology to build something which does this XYZ thing. But when you are in the outside world, you have to actually show what was the impact of it, and that is the much more valuable thing. So this is what people
Right.
mistake when they are mentioning describing the work experience in their resume. They miss these impact metrics. And even when you're applying for promotion, you should look out for all the different impact metrics you can get and mention those.
तो क्वांटिटी प्रोग्रामिंग के अगर बारे में बात करें हम लोग सीपी के बारे में, तो आपने सीपी करी थी ड्यूरिंग योर कॉलेज टाइम?
Yes,
ओके, या,
I did that in my third year, and but in my
हाँ,
fourth year, I had actually paused it for some time because
हम्म,
why? Because when I was regularly doing lead code, I felt that if I come back to CP after, let's say, a gap of 2 months, I will be able to see a very good
अच्छा,
distance, and it would be easy for me to get a higher rating then rather than you know
हम्म,
getting minus 10 in each contest. So I had paused
या,
CP for some time and focused just on lead
हाँ,
code, and once I was very much confident, I came back to CP, and then in just 3 4 contests I was able to jump my rating by a lot.
ओ, अच्छा, ग्रेट 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 ग्रेट। सो क्वेश्चंस तो मेरे यहीं तक थे। अब ना एक मैंने 6 or 7 क्वेश्चंस बनाए हैं, कोड है वो, लाइक बेसिकली कोड स्निपेट है, एंड यू हैव टू फिगर आउट कि कौन से क्वेश्चन से कोड रहे हैं, विच इट इज।
Uh, this seems Fibonacci, but DP00 is not a Fibonacci number, but this is like its sequence, Fibonacci sequence
ओके,
with a zero.
या इट्स फिबोनाची, या स्टार्टिंग विद 0, राइट? ओके, व्हाट अबाउट दिस?
Slow, fast, slow. This is for finding, what do you say, a circle in a linked list, uh,
या,
a loop in a linked
लूप
list.
इन इंग्लिश, राइट राइट राइट, ग्रेट। नेक्स्ट वन, या दिस वन। हेलो,
Hello.
या, व्हाट अबाउट दिस वन?
Uh, this seems to I couldn't some this seems to only take some of the positive numbers of an array.
या, ओनली पॉजिटिव। It can be positive or it can be negative.
Inactive either the least negative number, either it would give the greatest number or some of the positive numbers.
It's the maximum sum sub array.
Some better, but current sum we are not uh, current sum we are not setting it to zero anywhere. It would okay sub array not subsequence. Yeah, sub array. Yeah,
Yes, yeah. Right,
sub,
right, right, right.
yeah. So that
Next one.
yeah yes. It's a
हाँ,
sub.
हाँ, हाँ. Right.
It's a
What about this one?
vector stack stack top
It's a next getter element, like the stack implementation.
yeah
Next getter element to the right, yeah, left, anything.
yeah yeah
Yeah, I guess you will be. It will be easy for you.
uh,
It's a graph.
yeah Dykes priority queue.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. Yeah. What about this one?
DPI yeah,
I
this
already
naps
gave you a hint about
yeah
that.
yeah
Yeah,
naps
knapsack. Yeah. I guess this will be the last one. Not sure.
in degree
And I'm
plus
sure you
plus
have done that. Your
topological.
right, 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 right. Topological stuff. Okay. So yeah, it was great talking to you, Ashwin. Uh, Before leading the podcast, if you want to share something for freshers or for who are starting their career in tech industry, who are joining the college right now. So what your like if you want to share anything to them, so that they can grow in their career, because you have around 3 or 3.5 years of experience right now, so you can guide them. So what will be what will
I would say that try to get some good mentor. That if you are in college, try to look for some good senior and
right.
uh, make good connection with them. If you are in job, may build connection with senior people in your company, and also try to build connections with people in other companies.
Hmm.
Networking is really important and it will help you in long run.
Okay, okay. And something about lead code or like preparations for
For
any company, not
preparation,
just Google, for any companies, any big
okay,
company.
for lead code, I would say that lead code has a discussion page where people
Hmm.
post their thought process and their solution.
Right,
So,
right,
uh, 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 even when you are able to solve a question, do look at the discussion page. It would
right. Hmm,
be
hmm,
able
hmm.
to see some alternate solutions to a problem. And if you are not able to solve a question, focus more on the thought process through which a person was able to build the solution for that problem rather than the
Hmm, hmm.
solution that would be much more valuable.
Okay, okay. Great, Ashwin. So I guess this podcast will help students know, apart from like everyone knows how to prepare, how to like you just do a DSA questions and all. But कुछ क्वेश्चंस ऐसे थे आज के पॉडकास्ट में, which I think यहाँ क्लियरिटी चाहिए if you are starting in college or in any tech company. So I guess this podcast will help. Even if it helps a single student, it will be a great deal for me. Thanks a lot, Ashwin, to connect with me.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Have a good day.
Bye. Yeah, you too.
Okay.